How did I forget how any of this works today? Jeez. My hair is a mess. Cool. Hey, welcome. Hi, Annabelle. I don't know why I'm wearing the headphones. I don't really need them, but... Oh, she's a mess. All right, well. We're just gonna roll with it. I don't think this is on. Oh, it is. Sorry, I didn't mean to just tap the mic. Why is the colors not on? Huh. Sorry, I thought the mic was off. I just went and smacked the mic. My bad. My bad. What's happening? I don't even need the headphones. I don't know. It's messing everything up. Hello. Hi, Annabelle. Hi, Bree. Thank you. Thank you. We could be beautiful and admit the hair is a little bit of a mess right now. That's fine. I was caught up watching a show, and then I looked at the time, and it was 8:59. Sometimes I just sit here. I'm sat here too early, so I'm like, okay, I got 15 minutes to kill. I can watch something. All right, and I could not think of like a single fun little banner to make for this, like I usually do for discussions, because this one's gonna be kind of a hard one to discuss. Maybe, I don't really know, because it's so like trippy and remember the stories we read were happy and gay. Good times. I mean, have we read any that are really like happy? Bree says, I don't remember that. I don't know. Yeah, which ones have we read that were happy? Like net happy. Because I mean, we're mostly reading dark stuff, I fear. hey, sometimes we're gonna read outside of what we normally read, and I think this is definitely our first, like, it's not like stream of consciousness, really. It's I don't know, how would we describe the writing style? I'm not I'm a bookseller, but I'm not informed enough to know. Does this writing style have a name? It's not really stream of consciousness, but it's very like trippy and like flowy, you know what I mean? Like wibbly wobbly. Unreliable stream of consciousness. Okay. Definitely, yeah. It's very like cerebral. Like it feels like it's a dream. Like the way the scenes just like flow into each other, like some like kind of sometimes not really making sense. It's very dreamlike, or I guess like a nightmare. I guess in this scenario, this seems more like a nightmare. Stream of consciousness derogatory. Hey, I don't always mind like stream of consciousness. I just didn't know if like this necessarily like applies. Now that I'm talking about, I feel like dreamlike it fits too. Which I guess could be stream of consciousness. Oh my god, genius. Genius. Dream of consciousness. I actually feel like that's kind of perfect for this, like genuinely. You need to trademark that right now. You're gonna make millions, kid. You're gonna make millions. Okay, I'm very curious. I'm very curious to know like what everybody's thoughts were, obviously, of like the whole thing, but like what were your thoughts like when you first started the book? Did you guys like know about the book before? Um what did you think? I like because this was like this like all of them pretty much are taken from like your guys's suggestions. So it's like, obviously I look up the summary and like the like blurb is like so small, but it's like enough that I was like, ooh, this is interesting. And I didn't look into really anything. So I'm like, I'm just gonna experience it. It was interesting. I read it in 2 sittings. I was gonna try and read it in one. So yeah, I was like, I don't want to say like I kind of feel like I kind of had no expectations. I feel like I'm in the same boat. Like the blurb was like grabbed me. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then when I started reading, I was like, this is different. So it's like format wise, which is fun to explore. Had no expectations, had no idea what was happening. Yeah. I'm just curious because I want to know if like maybe that changed or if people feel like maybe that might have changed like how you experienced the book if you knew like kind of what the writing style was like. I mean, obviously I'll have no idea unless I could like erase my memory and do it all over again, but bought this book almost a year ago and I've been sitting on my shelf. Sorry, some Bookstagram recommended it. Had no idea what it was about. For at least the first 30 pages, I was questioning my entire reality. That's fair. The first 30 pages for sure. I think it's like the very beginning and the very end, I feel like, is where it's just, you're like, what is going on? The middle of it like kind of has a flow, like she's kind of moving from place to place, like our protagonist is kind of moving from place to place, so it has like a little bit, it's still very like dreamlike where it's like things just like change and happen and it's very very flowy. I'm gonna keep saying flowy. That's that's the vibe I was getting. But actually, I do want to pull up Storygraph. That's what I should have added in here. Maybe I'll take a screenshot really quick because I know Bree, you definitely had a really good interpretation of this that I liked. See how quickly I could do this. Wasn't until the gas guzzling that I was like, oh, this book is for me. That was the scene. Let me see read along. There we go. Oh, no. Now I'm gonna have a crisis. Is she really moving at all? Is this all in her head? Yeah? I don't know. Oh, I'm just gonna copy paste what you wrote, Brie, because I think it'll fit in a banner. I think it will. Yeah, it will. Okay. Cool. Yeah, genuinely, we'll never have that answered. I think it's one of those like I guess you could take it that way. I feel like that was like a thought that kept occurring to me, but I just chose to like I chose to like try and take the actions that were happening at face value, kind of like that there was some sort of like outer thing happening that somebody could see. And I feel like the gas guzzling scene did help with that though, where it's like truly kind of introduced another person for a second. That and the drug taking. The drug taking, like where you kind of have like an outside when she like goes back to like an apartment with that couple or something. Um where there's potentially like an outside perspective. Where I was like, okay, so maybe she is kind of like moving through reality and doing these things, but like we're in her mind and her mind is fucked. Oh fuck. Oh, is this what her brain did when oh my god. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna come out of this stream um having even less thoughts about this. Really so many ways. Really so many ways to interpret it. As soon as I started reading, I was like, "Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what everybody thinks about this one." Cuz I feel like like I won't say like conceptually cuz it's not really, but like writing style wise, the kind of like trippy, a little trippy, a little like you don't know like the consciousness of like what you're reading. I feel like the closest thing we've read to something like this is Looking Glass Sound ish, and even then that one felt like completely different. But um, this was I'm just gonna call out what Bree wrote in the read along because, and I don't know if you still feel this way because you wrote that almost 2 weeks ago, so you could interpret it completely different now. But I thought that was a really interesting take where I was like, hey, like, hey, okay. Where it's like I could apply that to what I just read and be like, that makes sense. Like I could see that. What is going on with my camera? It's not focusing. But Brie wrote that to me, this book is about a very brutal and traumatic rape that led to a pregnancy and ended with a possibly forced abortion. You do still feel the same way? Okay. That was like it was like as soon as you said it, there was moments where I was like, okay, I feel like I could connect that to what I read. Oh, hey, Mindy. Only made it a very small amount of pages before I stopped reading. I had no idea what was happening. That's fair. I read the entire thing, and I still am not 100% on what happened. I do wish I try. I mean, I tried to find, unless I can like. I didn't actually like search the author's name. Maybe. Because I want to know, like. Oh, I didn't see that before. An interview. Oh, I don't know if this is. I think this is just about her in general. Oh no, but there is. Okay, hold on. I may have some stuff here maybe to pull from the author because I'm like curious as to like what. I will be honest, I don't know if I would have reached that thought if it wasn't for the throwaway line the nurse had about her procedure and how the person dropped her off, told her she had an appointment. True. That makes sense though. Let's see. Trying to quickly read like because at first I thought it looks like just an interview with the author like in general. But then they ask a couple questions about supplication specifically. Okay. I feel like Bree's interpretation definitely holds water. This is too long to actually, I could take a screenshot and share it. Because this is like, as I'm like quickly reading this from the author, this I feel like aligns with your interpretation a little bit. Quickly adding, bing bong boom. Bing bop boom 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 bop bam. Okay. Hold on, it's loading. All right. Seemed poetic and dreamlike, but no clue what was happening. Yeah, it's definitely a surreal. The word I feel like the word I was looking for was surreal, and as soon as I opened this interview, they're talking about like horror surrealism, and I'm like, that's the word. That's the word I didn't have. Really took about at least 2/3 of the book to string together anything. Yeah. Okay, did it load? Okay, so this is so the in this interview I found the author was asked the question that I didn't include in the screenshot. So did you have a specific feeling in mind when you began writing the novel? Either a feeling that you personally were feeling or one that you wanted the readers to feel? Oh wow. Really big so everybody can read it. But I like what she's saying here. The protagonist's journey is underlined by this desperate search for meaning that she undertakes. She undergoes an extreme experience at the beginning of the novel, and the rest of the novel details her attempt to restructure the world in the wake of that experience. I feel like that aligns a lot with what Bree said. As well as her attempt to impose some grand system of meaning on her reality. I feel like that aligns with what you said. She's not saying anything like specific about it, but it could just be like this could just be like a general like insert traumatic experience here. Then she says towards the bottom, I think everyone can identify with really desperately searching for some kind of meaning to impose on their life, to give some kind of structure for how they exist within the world, which feels like it could be very like insert trauma here, like any like extreme thing that happens to you. Yeah, I feel like you are onto something like that. As soon as I read that, I'm like, oh, that's like what you said. You just gave it like you gave it like some specific context. I don't know if let's see. They're talking a lot about religion also in this interview for this book. Yeah. The author said there's a lot of Christian and religious symbolism within the book, and you can read a religious allegory if you're looking for that. Huh. Okay. I gotta say, I didn't really like. I didn't lean super religious for this book. I'm wondering if anybody else there picked up on anything kind of religious. Maybe the gas scene is kind of giving like potential like martyrdom a little bit. And the idea of like feeling thing, like giving meaning to I guess yeah, the whole idea of like giving meaning to your existence is kind of inherently religious a little bit, like what's our place in the world? What do we do? For sure. Oh shit. Okay, I feel like I didn't even read this, to be honest. Sorry, I'm scrolling through. I'm just trying to pull quotes quickly. The beginning of I wonder if anybody else picked up on this because I did not. So, the interviewer asks about the beginning of the novel, the beginning and the end. It begins and ends with a knife wound to the rib cage, first in the protagonist and then in the man she encounters. And then the author says there is a lot of obvious resonance with Jesus's fifth sacred wound, and that was intentional. It goes back to her organizing her experiences according to the logic of martyrdom in a way. Damn, I didn't even pick up on that, and I went to Catholic church for like 18 years. Pulled into reality, the idea that your unborn baby could psychically speak to you and demand you to do stuff for them freaks me out. Yeah. Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense though. Like that idea, like your interpretation, like that idea of um feeling like your body is not your own, or like you're not your own, like you're at the mercy of something else. That super pregnancy coded for sure. Absolutely. The latter half felt a bit occulty. The scene in the hospital could be seen as, oh yeah, little Rosemary's Baby. And in the end, she gets a knife to perform a ritual sacrifice. Yeah. I could see that. Absolutely. Just like scrolling through really quick. I just want to see if I see anything like related to what Bree said also, because that would be sick. Like that'd be absolutely sick. I'm gonna link this interview though if anybody wants to read it. They're talking a lot, so I'll pin it. Because they're going on a lot about this, and I really wish I had seen this this interview when I was looking up, because as I kind of joked, I had my jokey review is that I immediately looked up what the book, like immediately when you Google Supplication book explained. It's definitely one that I feel like you need to sit with a little bit too. Like, I don't think any of this reading experience, like whether it was like I was completely into it, half into it, not into it at all, like once you get to the end of it, you still have to sit with it a little bit. I don't think there'd be any scenario where it's like I instantly understand all of the symbolism and themes immediately after finishing a book. But I wish I'd seen this. This is like from the author's own words. Sorry, I just have to point out the very end of this interview, of course, being asked, are you working on anything new? Here you go, Des. It's not gay, but she uses the word joyful. She's working on a romance novel. So something less devastating, a bit more joyful, but it is also quite sad. So going from this to a romance novel is crazy work. I love that. Well, a favorite quote. If there isn't another hand in reach, a person should always have a flower to hold. Oh. I feel like that speaks to like finding meaning in the world, also in your place in the world, like within the natural beauty of the world. That's really nice. That is really nice. There's a lot of interesting things going on. Who did we think the like driver person is supposed to be or supposed to represent? Did anyone have any thoughts? Because besides our like protagonist and the like child, the kind of like child presence in her head, the person that keeps pulling up in the car is the only other like recurring character really, aside from like the man at the beginning and the end of the book. Sorry. At first I was thinking like, oh, like maybe she's dead, maybe this is a kind of purgatory situation, and this is kind of like a Grim Reaper figure or something like that, like maybe like more towards the beginning, and then I kind of abandoned that idea like halfway through. I assumed it was a shitty boyfriend. Well, yeah, that. Yeah, that aligns with your interpretation for sure. Sorry, I don't mean to keep yawning. Like as soon as they start talking a lot, I don't know what's. I need to breathe. That was a freaking fascinating. Might be like the only interview. Yeah, everything else is just a review. Oh, okay. Like her boss. Interesting. Hi, Marielle. Welcome. While we're doing that, I did find I don't want to say it's not an alternate cover, but I just want to share this other cover of this same book because it freaked me out a little bit. What's up, Marielle? Did you read Supplication? Or are you just here to hang? Like, check out this cover. Like, it unsettles me. It unsettles me so much. I thought the driver was a woman. Was that? I could have been wrong. I don't know. I could have been. I could just be assuming, and I wish. The book wasn't written quite how it was written because I could feel like I could flip through it a bit easier and try and find where they first show up. And see if maybe. Oh, okay. Okay. I see the. It just says the driver. Da, 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 da. Oh, you know what? That could be on me. They don't reference. It's just the driver and they. Yeah, I glanced at them. Their eyes were firmly on the road, but their mouth was moving slightly. Yeah, they. That was my bad. So maybe. Is this the first time that they show up? The driver window receded, revealing the person from the. Oh, that's right. They were at the bar. That's the first time they see them. Because they give her the gun. Okay, it's the man and the woman that she. I think it's just person. It's just a person. Okay, I found the scene where she gets the gun. This is the person. Interesting. Huh. maybe you're meant to project something, because I just projected it being a man. And I was wrong. Yeah. They don't yeah, not even in the description of them. It's nothing to indicate gender expression. Mario said, nope, did not read it. Okay. It's an interesting view if you think of the whole story from the POV of a sex worker. Yeah, for sure. I feel like that then therefore makes the scene with like the couple also interesting. The man that stabbed her could have been inclined. That incident was more like a straw that broke the camel's back to brain cracking. It's true. Then we would also have the virgin whore dichotomy to work with. Absolutely. Vicky finds things in books so quickly. It's a gift. It's a gift. I don't know. Or sheer dumb luck. I don't know what to say. Especially in this book. Hard to find things in this book because like every page is like this. And then Bree knocking me down a peg, keeping me humble. It is also a short book. I used to be of the mind to like page flag books, you know, like character introductions and things like that, because it's useful in discussions. But I've just gotten used to like, let me just flip through the book really fast, and I'm sure I can come across it. I feel our interpretations are too literal, perhaps. In dreams, nothing means what we think. That's true. If this is like a dream, or if it is like her brain's like final moments before dying or something like that. For sure. No, the one doing the bullying. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I mean, what I could glean from the interview, just like skimming through, the author's not saying anything specific about anything. So it definitely feels like one where it's like, she wrote this and it was like, do with it what you will. The only surefire things are like, like finding your place in the world, feeling alienated from your own body. But you could apply that to a lot of different things. So, but like, but I feel like pregnancy like really leans well to that. No bullying in here, Mario. Oh, I want to hear everyone's thoughts about the service station attendant scene. That was like that one, and when she's with the couple were ones where I was really like, as I was reading it, I know we're in like the protagonist's mind, but I was really trying to see it from the gas station attendant's point of view. That's I was like trying to like, I was like, let me just choose to like try and see what I think is like actually happening. So this was like part of the book where I'm like, I feel like she's alive. She's moving about the world in our reality, on some level. So I'm trying to like decide like what is she doing? um and all I really got was her like terrorizing a gas station attendant, the service attendant. I feel like though it's because it's so cerebral and everything's going on in her mind. I kind of just imagined that she like she shows up, she does the gas thing, like she guzzles the gas and pours it all over this this attendant, like sees her do it, and that's when he's like coming out of the the station kind of, and then she starts approaching him, and it's more just like I feel like she doesn't really do much to him other than like because she kind of like jumps on him and assaults him a little bit. Assaults him a little bit, but where it's more just like I don't know, like I feel like the scary bits were just like happening in her head. It's hard to explain. I kind of just imagined her like for a long time just standing there or like being like on top of them or whatever, like staring at them and not really doing much, but that's like it's like freaky, like she's clearly maybe like there's stuff going on up here, but like out here nothing's really going on. I was trying to see it through the attendant's eyes. Initially I thought she was trying to kill the baby. For sure. But if we're going like the pregnancy kind of, you know, route, especially if it was like like it was an unwanted thing, if it was like as a result of a rape thing, I could see that. The idea that the cult leader baby can die. Well, also if this is just a conceptual baby, like and not a real baby, but it's like some part of her consciousness, then yeah, I don't think guzzling gas necessarily could kill the cult leader baby. She would have to die. I would assume. All babies are conceptual. Wrong choice of word. Or right choice of word. I don't know. The wrong and the right choice of word. Right and wrong choice of word. I want to know what everybody makes of the ending. Because it's very like a bookend kind of thing. And that's I feel like the beginning and the end kind of help, like if I wanted to lean towards like maybe these were like her final moments when she was dying or something like that, and this is like what her brain is just making sense of, because we start and end in the same place. And if you like there's like a little bit of repetition where she's like noticing all the things like in this room, like from the like it's like the mortar in between the bricks and the bugs and the things like that, and she notices like all these things again where it feels very like either like a replay, like we're restarting, or and the whole idea like I knew what I understand, I know what I have to do next, like that sort of thing, like it's stuff that she also says in the beginning. So I'm curious what you guys made of that. I feel like if I just looked at the beginning and the end, like as the most important bits, I would lean maybe more towards like she's dying and this book is what's going on in her brain. Maybe, maybe not. No thoughts? Everybody type in. So I'm looking at the interview again. They're talking about the child. Oh. Oops, sorry. I didn't mean I didn't mean to call that one out specifically. I was going for Breeze, but they looked at meanings of horses and dreams, and Freud said they represented father figures and masculinity. Okay. Good old Freud. IDK, if that's anything, but the horse had to be a metaphor for sure. I mean, I figure true. I mean, if we're gonna take this as like this is very like dream like stream of consciousness, like I think using dream interpretation for anything is probably a good idea. Like I don't think that's a crazy thing to Sorry. I love that Freud thinks I shouldn't exist. Yeah, I don't think he thinks anything anymore. Yeah, I don't really think he thinks anything anymore. Okay, so I kind of skimmed over it, but the author does mention pregnancy. In this. Hold on. I'm going to share this because I feel like this is also really good. It's the first not book related thing I've said. I mean, Bree has a point. Freud is not with us anymore. There you go. I totally forgot about the beginning. So I guess the narrator is called Child by her torturer. Interesting. So doesn't really confirm or deny Bree's interpretation. Just as is not a straightforward reference to a child or pregnancy, but the protagonist might be seeing it in that way at times, but the child is also a more general manifestation of her search for meaning in the world and her need for something else that will guide her through the world. And she is taking that thing within herself and letting it guide herself. So it could just be, you could, I guess, choose to make that like, I guess maybe like the most literal interpretation of that and it being like your inner child. Which feels almost wrong for this book, though, if I'm being honest. Like, said Vicky, you found it. Well, it was in reference to the book, though. This is about the gas guzzling where I stopped thinking of it as a physical baby. Sure. Well, yeah, but conceptual baby. Conceptual child could still be like trauma from like I like at this point she could have already been pregnant and had the abortion and this is her brain like dealing with it. So this stuff could have all like kind of happened in the past maybe, or it's not exactly how it happened, but it's like her broken mind's like interpretation of what happened. I feel like anything's possible with this book, really. Like I genuinely feel like anything is possible in this book. I feel like for the most part, anybody could come in with an interpretation. Mariel could make up an interpretation right now, not having read this book, and it might actually work. But I found that interesting, that quote interesting though, like just a thing that within herself and letting it guide herself. I'm like, a literal inner child. It feels too simple. Maybe I'm thinking about it too hard. Also see a connection to the thing inside her and the black shit the guys in the hospital were leaking from their abdomens. Ooh, okay. Okay. That would, I mean, if you want to, if it's like a pregnancy as a result of rape or something like that, like a traumatic event, especially, I could see that. Could just be like the manifestation of like any trauma, like on your, you know, that whole idea of like the body keeps score or whatever, right? I think the baby represents the future of society. Let's see, can we make this work? I mean, wait. Maybe. This like inner child of hers does make her do some crazy things. Like guzzle gas. Maybe that's an allusion to President Dump telling people to like drink bleach or whatever for COVID. So bleach has become gas. President Dump is a child. He wears a diaper. I made it work. I feel like I made it work as best as I could. Also, maybe this woman just took acid and she's just freaking out on the sidewalk outside the club. Damn. I did think about that. Like, I was like, is this just like a drug trip? Or maybe she's just like super traumatized by something that happened. She goes to the bar or whatever. She meets that couple and she takes whatever the fuck they gave her. Because we don't know for sure. She just took a mysterious substance from these strangers and she's freaking out. I did have that thought. I mean, it's like you're gonna have her take drugs and then the rest of the book like happens. Like I mean, I was gonna mention the boss baby, a definition of the tough man. I feel like I made that work actually quite well. quite proud of myself for that one. What is going on with my camera? Literally. Hello, I'm here. Focus. I don't believe the couple ever referenced their ages, but I couldn't help but see them as pretty old. Yeah, nobody really has like nobody's like super described in this book. So, I mean, case in point, the driver. We all thought the driver was different genders. Like in their 70s. Interesting. I did not see it that way. Maybe this whole book is like just designed to like you're gonna see what you want to see. Maybe it's just like one big like a personality test or something, this book. And depending on how you see certain things, you know, it's like the Rorschach test or whatever. Like, do you see a bird or do you see a squirrel or something? I don't know. Was the driver a man, a woman? or a non-binary friend. Like, and then based on your answer, here's what this means about you. This is what this says about you. When I finished the book, I immediately wanted to read it again. I feel like I could read this 5 times and have 100 different interpretations. Oh my God. Wow. My brain frizzled out there at the end. For sure. For sure. I feel like if I were to do like a second read of this, I would want to I would read like every interview that this author has ever done. Like I would want to go in armed with as much information from the author as possible, and then try and like really focus on what she's talking about, that the book is about, to see if I can like see it. Would you recommend this book? Sounds quite crazy. Remind me how you felt about House of Leaves again. And I will give you an answer based on that. I want to say you didn't have a fun time with it, but I could just be projecting, because I didn't have a fun time with House of Leaves. That's all. I will say House of Leaves is way crazier. House of Leaves is way crazier. Nothing compares to House of Leaves. But this is very like surreal. Yeah. Would also be interested in an audiobook. I always wonder that, like, because I'm so into audiobooks, like I utilize them a lot. Especially like, it helps me just keep reading, when I'm driving to and from work and stuff like that and doing other things. But I feel like sometimes like an audiobook genuinely, or like choosing to listen to a book rather than just kind of like read it and like kind of let somebody else interpret like tone of voice and what the character sounds like and stuff like that. I feel like it definitely can change how you feel about a book. I feel like they could do some fun stuff with like voice distortion and stuff too. I've seen that, you know what I mean, in audiobooks before, where depending on what's happening in the story, like you get like audio distortions of a voice, like echoes or like reverb or whatever it is to to emphasize something. I listened to Wake Up and Open Your Eyes by Clay McLeod Chapman, and they utilized stuff like that a lot, and it made the trippy parts of the book a lot cooler. Oh, so there is an audiobook for this. I honestly didn't look into it to see if there was one. I figured, like, I don't know how they decide like what gets an audiobook and what doesn't, if that's a thing that they decide, but it was still kind of new, so I wasn't sure if they're, and it's not like a big publisher, so audiobook is what I tried and it did not work for me. I think I would need to read it physically to get anything out of this one. Interesting. Yes, I read Ghost Eaters on audiobook and it was wild. The whispering. Yeah. I love when especially horror audiobooks play around with that sort of stuff, because it really like immerses you. Same author too, so I like that. I can't remember if I listened to that one or not. I may have just read that one. Like just physically read it. I don't know. Okay. So what did we rate this? Our collective rating is not very high. I love that Storygraph does this. So if you do like a little read along, it gives you like group stats. So like the average rating based on what? Everybody rated it. The average rating for us is a 3.08. So just for our read along. We are yeah, I think I skewed it down. I think I skewed it down. I gave it a 2. It felt like it just was like the writing style I think was just not for me. Um which I feel like easily I'm like, yeah, because I did not have a fun time with like House of Leaves and stuff like that and it just Oh, you gave it. Oh, yeah, I see it here too. Yeah, I gave it a 3.25. My opinion of it has apparently. Hey, it's a book that you got to like think about. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I would rate it a 2 right now. Also, you know what I mean? Like, I might rate it a little higher. Like after having like talked it through and like now having some different ways to view the book. DNF. Interested in giving it another try reading it with my eyes. I found another DNF queen. Hey, you know what? Like, and to be honest, I'll be honest. Also, Mindy, if this wasn't for Creepy Book Club, I probably would have DNF'd this also. Just because the writing style is just it's not what I would normally pick up, and that's not to say I don't want to like read outside my comfort zone, but it's hard. It is really hard if I feel like I don't have a character to connect to, and this is not one where you're like, you know, a lot about this character because of the nature of it. So, but I liked reading outside of my comfort zone for this. That's part of the fun of doing this book club. So I didn't hate the experience. But if I'm being honest, like if I just picked this up for myself, I probably would have DNF'd it. Definitely reread for sure. I'll be interested, like when you reread it, to see if you get something like completely different out of it. I feel like you would need like some separation though, like don't pick it up for a while and then go back to it and then see if maybe like, especially like if anything has like changed in your life, if that changes how you view what's going on in the book. Mariel, nobody asked. Thank you for sharing with the class. That's valid though. The book grew on me after I finished. It'd be a 4.5 now. Yeah. I think after hearing some interpretations, I'm like, okay. It's one you need to like talk through. I also don't feel like this is one that I could read and just like just sit with this myself. You know what I mean? Like I feel like this begs to be read with at least one other person, so you have somebody to like verbalize your interpretation with. So yet again, another reason why it's like I feel like reading this with as a book club worked really well for me. But would not work really well if it was me just like flying solo. just realized. I know that's what I'm like. It was just funny because it's like nobody really reacted to Marielle saying nobody could top her, and then she just provided that for free. I read it with the psychic manifestation of my internalized trauma. That's how you got to read this book. That's how you got to read this book. All right, as we always end this, what else did you guys read this month? I do have a banner for that. I couldn't think of like any banner to like. I was like, what do I write? But what else did y'all read? I did lose my streak. I went pretty long. I went for like 60 days. No, maybe not 60 days. I can't remember. I want to do the January pages challenge, and I did all of January, and then I kept it going for a while, but it's okay. I can always restart any streak. Oh, and I know I definitely shared it, but I read Lucy Undying. I kept my promises. Hope this month's book is happy and gay. Well, it's a horror book, so I mean, like, what's your definition of happy for like like name a book that we've read where you're like happy. Just 1,300 pages of Sando this month. Damn. I just couldn't leave that unsaid. Okay. Yes, I did. I read Lucy Undying. I loved it. It was awesome. That to me was like happy and gay. Although the majority of it was not happy. It was like there's a lot of trauma involved in that. But it was super gay. It was super gay. There were some scenes that had me blushing. I listened to this one on audiobook partially. Like just so I could continue listening like to and from work and stuff. So I would just kind of like move the audiobook to where I was. But there was a couple times like driving from work or something listening, and I was kind of like, ooh. The honeys had a happy-ish goodness again. Okay. Yeah. I guess it's happy-ish. Okay. I just wanted to gauge, like, when you say, like, happy and gay, I want to know, like, what your metric is for happy in a horror book. So that helps. Thank you. The Long Walk, Pumpkin Princess, and the Forever Night. A nonfiction about families destroyed by QAnon. Damn. The Quiet Damage. And Scythe and Sparrow. Okay, so you finished the ruinous something trilogy. I know this. I'm a bookseller. What's it? The ruinous love trilogy. I'm like, I know this. People have been asking for these books ever since that first one took off. Butcher and Blackbird. Let's see, what else did I read? So I read Lucy Undying. I read Wake Up and Open Your Eyes by Clay McLeod Chapman. Hit a little too close to home. I get why he wrote it. It was kind of tough to read because it was just so everything that's happening right now. So, yeah. So in that sense, it was kind of tough. I read volume 2 of this super sweet sapphic manga, which is called The Guy She Was Interested In Wasn't a Guy at All. I read the second volume. They're already making an anime out of this, and I'm very excited. And then I also read Wildwood. That's going to be the next Leica Studios adaptation. So I read Wildwood. Middle grade book, but very entertaining. Read To Sir with Love. Hated it. Black Teacher. Really liked it. And Chlorine. Had potential, but meh. Okay. Oh, My Dearest Darkest. Okay, yeah. Okay. I love how they're both YA books. That's probably what's happy about them. Like, they can't be too traumatizing. I don't know if there's like rules. in publishing for that, but they're both YA books. Very interesting. Oh, and you read My Sister the Serial Killer. Nice. Into the Forest and All the Way Through by Cynthia Pelayo. True crime poetry collection. What? There's true crime poetry? What is that? Haunting of Velkwood. Nice. And The Third Rule of Time Travel. Oh, okay. Oh, and Earthlings. I've heard that one was I heard that is like traumatizing. Is it? Is that the same one I'm thinking of? It's got the little like was it like a hedgehog or something? Earthlings. Is it a hedgehog? Yeah. Is it? Or am I thinking of a different one? Or is it like weird? Is it weird? Once you get past the offensive straight sex scenes, the whole trilogy is wonderful, actually. Hey, you know what? I feel like every and any other gay people in the comments can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like every gay is entitled to like one thing, at least one thing that you like, that you just like really unironically like, that is unfortunately heteronormative. And you're like, despite that, I like it. It's very weird, quirky, and a bit traumatizing too. I feel like maybe it was just like TikTok or something else. You know, like sometimes when they're trying to sell you on a book, they're like overdoing it a little bit. I thought I heard it was like like super disturbing or something, and I was like, oh, but it's got like such a cute little like hedgehoggy thing on it. Okay, people might have been blowing it out of proportion, which is true. How can you get past that? Because they're straight serial killer couples, so that helps even it out. Yeah, that's Bree's thing. That's Bree's like one thing. we all have that one thing. Where it's like it's straight. But I feel like we're allowed that. We're allowed that, you know what? We're allowed. The great thing about audiobooks, I can skip through the spice at 3 times speed. It's like supersonic spice. I kind of wanna pick up like a spicy book in audio just to do that, just to, because I just feel like that'd be funny. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just immature, but I just feel like that'd be really funny to listen to it. It's 3 times speed. Just for like the words that your brain's gonna like pick out, like out of super sonic spice girl. That'll be one of my things I'll do this year. I'm gonna listen. I've never listened to like a like legitimately spicy book on audiobook. Sometimes it just happens. Like I'll be reading a book and there just happens to be a little bit of spice in there, but I don't really like pick up romance books anyway. It's not typical of me to do. So even the gay ones, I don't know. I have a problem reconciling with like that there's like no other, so sometimes no other plot point. I'm just like, give me something else. Give something else for these characters to do. But I'm gonna do that because that sounds funny. That sounds funny. Well, that's all I read this month. I am in the middle of Skeleton Crew. I just read it I picked it up for the monkey specifically, but then I was like, The Mist is in here. So I was like, why don't I just like, it's a anthology. Why don't I just read through it? Now I can say I finally have read The Mist now. I feel like referring to it as spice is immature by itself. It's just like the trendy way to say it. I highly recommend Ashley Herring Blake's books if you ever feel like giving sapphic romance a try. I do have, it's not, I don't know why I looked behind me. It was behind me by my bag. I did pick up what's it called? I'm hoping this is the right author, though. I think it is. Delilah Green Doesn't Care. Is that the name? That's her series, right? Where it's like there's like Delilah Green, Iris something, Kelly. I can see the books. I can see the books in my mind. Yeah, okay, I was right. Okay. Hey, sometimes as a bookseller, I don't need to know exactly what the book is. I just need to know where it is. That's all. I could take you to it in my store. I know where it is. I did pick up Delilah Green the other day. One of my coworkers also really loves that series. So, and she was singing his praises. So I was like, all right. I keep trying the romance. I keep giving it a shot. I will find something I like eventually. I have to. It's like the law of averages or something. The Mist and The Raft were the only stories I really liked in that collection. The Mist was interesting. The Mist was I heard it was different from the movie in some kind of significant ways. So I liked it. It was okay. I think I like I feel like I read somewhere like somebody was talking about the difference of like the endings in The Mist and that the one in the book is not bad. And I was like, what are we talking about? Like, I feel like they're both traumatizing in their own ways. Although the movie ending is a lot more traumatizing than the book one. It's a whole friend group of queer ladies in a small town. Oh, I love that. Just like quaint sapphics. I trust you so much that I bought Murder Your. I know. I'm excited for you to read that. I thought it was funny as fuck. But humor is just as subjective as horror, so I don't know. You could read it and think it's really dull, but I thought it was super funny. Just like go into it with like a Knives Out mindset. I feel like that like just make sure you're in that kind of like mood. I think you'll be fine. Hopefully. And if you're not, that's okay. If you don't like it, that's okay. Oh, it was super funny. There's supposed to be a sequel at some point, but that book's been out for a couple years now, though, so I don't know if we're getting that. I would cross my fingers for you if I thought it would make a difference. Damn. Damn. Des just pulled out a gun. Another horror news, I started playing Until Dawn. I've owned it for 2 years, but it took seeing the movie trailer to get me to play it. Have fun. The movie, I can tell you from the movie trailer, it is completely different from the game. Oh, did you see I responded to your comment in the Discord about the Sapphic game from the 50s. Because if you play that, is this bed we made. Okay, yeah. Just to make sure. I love that game. It's so good. I should just change my name to Punching Bag. He really does really like it just he was waiting. He was waiting the whole stream. He was like, I'm just waiting for her to set me up. Oh, that was good. That was funny. Okay. Well, we're reading this month. Listen to Your Sister by Nina Veal. I hope that's how you say her last name. I feel like I should get my little brother to read this. Whatever happens in it, there's an important message to be had here, and that is listen to your sister. Super excited to read that one. I've been selling it off of my new horror table at work, so I'm trying to get everybody on the train. He started it already. Hell yeah! Can't freaking wait. So that's what we're reading this month, and then I guess also just really quick too, if anybody's skipping this month, and well, you can't really jump ahead to the Buffalo Hunter because it's not quite out yet, but it'll be out soon. It's out this month. And then we're already gonna be like the first quarter of this year done. And before we know it, we're gonna have to pick some more books to read for the rest of the year. Holy shit. Had to do a special interlibrary loan request through my library, so hopefully they can get it for me. I think the state of Wisconsin libraries have one copy for the whole state. Damn. Yes. You're not gonna have fun. Bella is insufferable in New Moon. It's okay if you skim that one. I did. As a teenager, I did. Come on, someone say, let's see if you finish it. Go ahead. No, we're not set. You're okay. Come on. It's not funny if you ask for it. I reckon you'll finish this one. Yeah, I think you're going to finish it too. Alrighty. Well, I will leave you for the evening. Thanks for a wonderful discussion on this crazy book. Look at us reading some different types of horror. We got horror surrealism. Check. Hell yeah. I don't think the next one is as surreal, so we'll maybe be a little more straightforward discussion. But so I'll see you in like a month's time to talk about Listen to Your Sister. Good night, you guys. Bye. You're my favorite people, and I love you. Bye.